White supremacy and far-right extremism have quietly taken hold in places many people never expected, including Southern California. In the new book, American Reich, author Eric Lichtblau uses the 2018 murder of teenager Blaize Bernstein to look into what's happening in Orange County. Eric, who's a two-time Pulitzer Prize winner and former LA Times reporter, joins us live. Thank you so much for being here this morning. It's not lost on me we are having this conversation on Martin Luther King Day.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So can you talk a little bit about, I think a lot of people, when they think about white supremacy and some of these topics, they think of the Deep South. They don't necessarily think of Orange County, California. So can you explain why you sought your sights on us here locally?
Well, sure. First and foremost, this is a national story. This is going on everywhere around America, from Buffalo to El Paso to Pittsburgh, where we've had these horrible mass hate crimes over the last decade. But Orange County was one place that I focused on, perhaps more than any other, because it has this long entrenched history of racism that's really resurged to the surface over the last few years, with a real backlash from white supremacists, with a whole series of horrible hate crimes, including one that I focus on, the killing of a young gay college student named Blaize Bernstein, tragically killed by his own high school classmate, a young man named Sam Woodward, who had become radicalized into neo-Nazism. And this was sort of emblematic of the rise of white supremacy that we've seen in the last few years. This was a kid who really became obsessed with neo-Nazism, first online and then in person. He went to a hate camp started by a group named Atomwaffen, which means atomic bomb in German. And this is just one of now more than 150 groups, new groups, dedicated to white supremacy, record numbers of white supremacy groups in the U.S. at an all-time high in the last few years, around the country, dedicated to white supremacy, with numbers of hate crimes at all-time high since the FBI began charting those numbers in the 1990s. We're seeing really an epidemic of this,
and it's something we cover here a lot. I mean, so you're touching on topics that we have to report on a lot of the time. I do want to ask you, you write that these extremists aren't lone wolves. What does that look like in real life?
Yeah, some of them certainly are lone wolves. I mean, Sam Woodward killed by himself. He was not in a pack, as it were, but others, band together and do carry out their crimes, en masse, as it were. And we have groups like the Proud Boys, like the Oath Keepers, like another Orange County group called Rise Above, which did travel to political rallies and attack minorities, attack Democrats, and really operate in packs. They would, the Rise Above guys were trained in martial arts. They were guys who literally worked out on the beaches of Southern California and Orange County, and were proud of their hand-to-hand combat techniques, and would carry those out in fighting against their perceived enemies, who are mostly minorities. So it's a combination of these lone wolves and also pack fighting. And we've seen, in the last several years, literally the worst hate crimes in modern history against blacks, against Asians, against Jews, against Hispanics. You don't have to go back tragically 100 years to find the most number of minorities killed. As sad as that sounds,
I think
you don't have to go back to the 1960s or 100 years. You find that in the 21st century, as horrible as that sounds.
I think that's what makes it disappointing, and also I think pertinent that it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and we're still talking about this. Quickly, before we have to let you go, this book does come out at a time so many people We're reporting on this every day, too. They're overwhelmed by hate and division. What do you want readers to really take away?
Well, I think this is a sad reflection of the Trump era, and I will put that out there. I mean, this started at a time when, in 2015, was really the upturn in hate crimes. It was a time when Donald Trump had started his campaign, coming down the golden escalator, talking about Mexican rapists, and there is undoubtedly a correlation between that, the coarseness and ugliness in the national rhetoric, the demonization of immigrants in particular, of LGBT, of minority groups, and also the coarseness online, where whatever barriers we once had towards hate speech has now really gone out the window in the last few years. The public rhetoric has really just sort of come to a low point in terms of our ability to talk to each other in what were once relatively civil ways is now pretty much gone.
Yeah. Civil, what is that? Eric, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you
Thank
being
for having
here.
me.
The book American Reich is available now, so you can check it out. And let's get a check